Thank you for joining me, my angels. This is Tarot in White Oracle, where we get into the cloud and see what we see. This is our Aries twin flame journey. This is the long video. If you have not watched the short, please go back and watch that first, where we already did the preliminary information. While I was meditating, I was seeing a hammer hitting a nail into the wood. Some of you might be carpenters, or your partner might be, or you might feel like this is the final nail in the coffin. This is a do or die situation right now. Or some of you might feel like you are building your foundations finally together. So let's go ahead and dive into the tarot and see what we can see. We do have a 10 card drawing for energy, as well as our future energy and third energy. So if you watch my channel, you know that we do a third energy to start, because when the divine masculine and divine feminine come together in a twin flame journey, they are creating a third energy. And this is for the benefit of the collective, so that the entire collective can rise in consciousness. And it was said by another psychic that many twin flames started to occur since the 1945 period, 1940s and onward, to help expedite the awakening of the consciousness on Earth. And so it's no surprise that there are so many of them, a lot more than usual, because they are quite rare. So we're going to go ahead and draw for the third energy. Now, if you are in a soulmate or soul tribe connection, this will also resonate for many of you. But at this juncture, this is mostly for the divine masculine and divine feminine energies, which we will be drawing individually. However, if you are a soulmate or soul twin, it just means that this is your masculine and feminine in your soul's body. All of us have masculine and feminine energy. And when you're in a soulmate or soul tribe connection, you are that masculine feminine within your own body. But the difference is when you're in a twin soul connection or a twin flame, which is the common vernacular now, your soul divides into two separate bodies. And so your soul is having two separate experiences. This is to expedite healing. It is to expedite your soul's growth and learning. You most likely chose this before coming to Earth, and this is to help elevate the collective's consciousness. But this will relate to many of you if you are in soulmate or soul tribe relationships as well. So let's go ahead and get our energy for the third. Okay. Our energy for our third. Our third power here. Now, we are going to be posting all of the soul journey videos, short and long, on Mondays or Sunday nights together now, moving forward. And we are going to be doing every element week by week. So all the fires will be week 1, water signs week 2, air signs week 3, and earth signs week 4. Okay, it's interesting because the third energies that want to come out are more than one for this reading, which usually it's just one. Okay, so the energy that wants to come out on the feminine side is about the right timing and healing of the heart. So there might be a lot in people in the collective who have a wounded heart, false beliefs about themselves, lies that were told to them about themselves from their parents, the person they're with, or lies they tell themselves, illusions, hurtful things that you tell yourself. But it's also just being hurt and brokenhearted in relationship. And this is all about realizing that fate and destiny are on your side. And that healing process, that process of growth, there's divine timing around it. There's right timing around it. There's fated and destined paths for us all. And you don't go through anything for no reason. God, source, the universe, hears and sees everything and is always there for you, and it's for a purpose. And so this energy is coming out strongly from the feminine side, that everything is fated, everything is destined, and there's a reason for everything, even your pain. The strong third energy coming out on the masculine side has to do with, wow, a power couple of King and Queen of Wands together. And so there's a very strong partnership, spiritual partnership, that is also established on Earth. Because these are the cards, for me anyway, that are very soulful and spiritual, because they're wands, but they're kings and queens, so they're also very grounded in the earth. So this is like, you know what, we're going to take what's in heaven and we're going to bring it down and make heaven on earth. That's what this energy is. We're going to partner up and make heaven on earth. That is so beautiful. In the background, we have, of course, another shadow energy, which is interesting. Both the feminine and masculine have a shadow energy in the background. This one is the Five of Swords. This is all about those internal doubts, the skeptical, the denial. It's like, I'm going to deny this. I'm skeptical. I'm doubting. I'm going to run away from the truth. I'm going to avoid things. And so on the forefront, in front of that, is like, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to bring heaven down to earth, and the truth is going to be revealed to you all. You're not going to be able to run from it or deny it or hide from it anymore. So this is a really beautiful third energy coming from the masculine and feminine. This is all about healing the collective from denial and from ignorance and from wounded hearts and broken hearts, and the bitterness that we grow into as we lie to ourselves because the world has lied to us, and really just becoming empowered spiritually and on an earthly realm, and realizing that everything is for your higher good. So beautiful way to start this reading. Let's go ahead and dive in a little bit further. So we will be drawing 10 questions, and if you watch this more regularly, you will know what these questions are. But I suppose a lot of you may be new, so this may be new for you. So our first question is, why do we have the above energy? Why do we have the above energy for masculine and feminine? For masculine, it has to do with conflicts, external conflicts, competition. It has to do with feeling like you are in a battle. So why for the masculine? Because the masculine is in a process of learning to put down his struggle. He's in a process just about, because the 10 is the very end of the struggle. And so it's a cycle ending. It's the cycle of struggle coming to an end. And so the masculine is going through his final stages of battling it out in the world, battling it out with competition and conflict, so that he can learn to put that struggle down, so that he knows he doesn't have to carry it. He doesn't have to carry it alone. Source is there, the divine feminine is there, and he can put that bag down, that bag of rocks. You know, in the picture, it's always wands, but you can think of it as a bag of rocks that the masculine is carrying. And it's like, you know what, just, you can put it down. This lesson is for you to learn to put it down. So what do we see for our divine feminine? Our divine feminine is, wow, she's also a 10. You guys are mirroring each other. So the feminine is the 10 of Swords. So she has a shadow energy of the 4 of Cups, which is missing out on things. So many things from her past she's missed out on, or she felt like she couldn't have, and maybe she's seen everyone else have things, and she's like, why can't I have things? And she's not seeing what's right in front of her right now. And so this card is all about putting that pain and that hurt, especially in your heart. See, this energy is very related to this energy. This energy is all about putting down that pain, putting down that hurt from everything that has hurt your heart. It's ending that cycle again, because it's a 10. And so, you know, it couldn't be any more beautiful in the mirroring of itself and of the divine masculine. So she's going through these lessons because she's in learning to look at what's in front of her, grab what's in front of her, to not miss out what the universe is giving her, and to be empowered spiritually and on earth, and to come into mastering her strength rather than feeling like a victim. This is like a victim mindset. So she's putting this to rest. She's putting the victim mindset to rest. And our divine masculine is putting down internal conflicts and external conflicts. He's having internal, which are manifesting externally as conflicts. And he's learning to put that burden down. So both the masculine and feminine in the next 30 days, so this is throughout the month of October, and this is for our Aries masculines and Aries feminines. So if you are the Aries and you are the divine masculine, this is your feminine, the person you're partnering with. But if you are an Aries and you are the feminine, then this is your divine masculine, okay? So let's go ahead and look at our next one. So we do get lessons. What are our lessons coming up for this next 30 days? And all right, we do get the Knight of Swords, and this is in the inverse. So this is all about hiding your communication, hiding your truth, hiding clarity. So this is causing confusion, perhaps in the connection. And so your lessons this next 30 days is about what happens when you're hiding your truth, hiding your communications. And so let's see what we have for our feminines. What are our feminines learning these next 30 days? Oh, beautiful, the Two of Wands. Okay, so the feminines are learning how to wait on partnership. So our Two of Wands is those partners coming together. The two is partnership, and our wands is that very spiritual, to the heavens energy. So this is very twin flame energy. This is all about that partnership between the divine masculine and divine feminine. And this is basically just saying the feminine is learning to focus on her emotions, her intuition, her internal life. You see how he's focusing on the water. And so she's learning to focus on her internal life while she waits for the partnership to finally manifest, okay? And that can mean different things for different people. For some of you, you're in connection, but you just feel disaligned or not, or disconnected still, even though you're in partnership. For some of you, you are in separation right now, because twin flame connections go through a lot of cycles of union, separation, union, separation. And so for many of you, you may be feeling that you are in a period of separation again for one reason or another. Maybe this is no contact, there's silence going on. I would guess that since the masculine has his communications inverted currently. And so the masculine's learning about how communication and clarity benefit the relationship. And she's learning how to focus on herself while she's waiting for things to align. So let's go ahead and look on what is on the mind space of our divine masculines in the Aries connection. All right, so we do get our Four of Pentacles. So our Four of Pentacles, when it's on the upright, is really holding on tightly, being controlling or possessive. It can be like, I don't have enough things coming to me, you know, in the next week, so I gotta hold on tightly to it. A lot of times it has to do with money, like I'm gonna hold on to this money tight. But with people, it has to do with possessiveness, controllingness, stinginess of the heart, jealousies, or you're just holding on so tightly because you don't want something to be let go because you feel like it's gonna be let go. So what's on the mind space right now is this is in the inverse. It's the mind space of the divine masculine. He's thinking a lot about how maybe he's had control issues and about how he needs to just let things go, to trust the process, to trust source, and to not be so controlling or not be so jealous, and to really free himself, free his mind, so that his ego, his weaknesses, his, you know, when you're wounded in life, a lot of times that's your go-to. It's like, oh, that person's cheating, you know, so it's really, his mind space is clearing all those cobwebs of fear. That's essentially what's happening. So his mind space, his ego is being cleared of fear right now. And so that's a beautiful place where his mind is going. Let's see the mind space on the feminine. What is it that she wants to know? Well, the masculine might also be wondering about the feminine in terms of, you know, like, he's basically saying, I trust you. He's saying, I'm putting any jealousies or worry to rest, and I'm trusting you. And so the Divine Feminine is saying Knight of Swords. Okay, so you guys are mirroring each other again. We got mirroring with the 10 of Wands and the 10 of Swords. And now we get another mirroring here. So the masculine is saying, I'm not communicating, I'm not being clear right now, and I'm not speaking. He might be blocking currently, who knows? But she's saying, Knight of Swords, communicate, talk to me, bring some clarity. This is the exact energy, but in the upright. So this is what's on her mind. She's like, why are you not communicating? So let's go ahead and see what's on the heart space. What is on the heart space of our divine masculines? All right, we do get the Queen of Cups. So the Queen of Cups is, when it's in the inverse, the heart space is feeling like it doesn't want to be vulnerable. It doesn't want to open up emotionally. It can be emotional issues. It can be, I'm hesitant to open my heart to you. I'm hoping that I don't get hurt in this. I feel like I might get hurt in this. So I'm just not going to be emotionally vulnerable. So the heart space is feeling really protected. You know, like one of those clams you see in the water. You try to like look at its beautiful pearl and it shuts on your finger. So for the Divine Feminine, she is in the 10 of Pentacles, but in the inverse. So in her heart, it's like she wants a commitment. She wants something solid, but she feels like this isn't a commitment yet. This isn't solid yet. And it looks like in her heart space, you know, she's not feeling the commitment, the togetherness of the two. You know, and we do have, you know, the dog here who's being really loyal. She might feel like, are you loyal? What are you doing over there? Because you're not talking to me, and so I'm not getting a lot of information from this. Now, for a lot of you, you know, who are together at this time or living together, you might have some sort of, I see you in the hallway, but we're not really having those conversations that we need to have. Like, it's not that you're not communicating at all. It's just that you've missed a communication that's really important. Like there's something on your mind or his mind, and it's like, okay, I meant to talk about this, but we didn't talk about it. Or I want to talk about it, but I'm just not bringing it up because maybe I don't want the answer. And so that's also possible from this energy. If you guys are communicating, it's just that there is some important conversation that needs to be had that isn't being had. So let's go ahead and look in fears. Let's see what our fear space is for our masculines. Wow, we're getting a lot of inverse cards, and most of these are forward. Okay, so the reversed Nine of Pentacles. So this is a fear. This is the fear space of our masculine. Our masculine is fearing that they're not going to be able to reap the harvest, reap the rewards, reap the fruits of this commitment, of this connection, of this relationship. And so they have fears about the commitment and about being able to reap the rewards of the commitment. For whatever reasons that is, whether a lot of times the masculine might have issues they're working through. Maybe they feel like the feminine won't be patient enough. Maybe they feel like the feminine is just going to go do her own thing and they will, you know, miss out on that. Or the feminine sometimes feels like that as well. But for whatever reason, the masculine currently in the next 30 days, and this is through October, feels like they might be missing out on, you know, the joys of commitment, the joys of a relationship, of something where you have someone who has your back, who's your family, who's got you. You know, the masculine's fearing, I'm going to miss out on all that good stuff. You know, it's like I'm putting the seeds down here, I'm putting the seeds down, I'm planting the seeds and I'm watering it, but it hasn't grown yet, and I'm afraid that a storm is going to come in and destroy everything, and I'm not going to be able to enjoy all of these beautiful flowers that are growing. So it's that kind of feeling. So from the Divine Feminine, let's see what her fear is. Okay, we are getting two. We have the Queen of Swords and the Ace of Wands. So this does, and so she is also flowing water between her, and she's making the water, you know, the water is coming up close to her and it's flying through, and she's kind of making it happen with her mind, since this is a Swords card. So the fear in the Divine Feminine space has a lot to do with communication. It has to do with intellectual honesty and getting on the same page of what we're doing, kind of a feeling. And there's a sense that, are we going to be able to make this happen? Are we going to be able to are we going to be able to move forward? Are we going to be able to take those steps? Are we going to be able to have that new beginning, that new chapter, that commitment to happen? You know, and there's a sense of, is the magic going to still be there, or is the magic going to disappear? Our ability to move forward, our spark that we have with each other, and are we going to be able to talk and be honest with each other, and also be able to move forward, be on the same page, and keep the magic? So the feminine has some of these spheres in her space. Let's go ahead and see what we have for our hopes. So what is our masculine hope? So our masculine is hoping that the inability to move right now isn't going to hurt this connection. The masculine might be feeling like they can't move right now, because this is a card in the inverse of, I'm not capable, I can't do anything right now. And their hope is that that isn't going to get in the way of this connection, that this isn't going to scare the feminine and such like that. And let's go ahead and see what we get for the Divine Feminine. Seven of Pentacles. This is all about investment. So her hope is that this is something worth investing in, that this is going to stick around, that the investment will pay off. Sorry, my cat was fumbling with stuff back there. I had to help him. So yeah, so the feminine is basically, you know, she wants to make an investment. This is all about investing, but she's taking it easy. You know, this is a card also of waiting. So her hope is that in the waiting, after waiting, this is going to pay off, that we're going to invest in this. So that's her hope. Let's go ahead and get an energy for the hidden from you. So the masculines are hiding something from the feminines. And what they're hiding is a new beginning, a new adventure in this connection. So for those of you that are in separation, you're in no contact, you're living together but you're not speaking, there's something to do with the distance in the space, in the time between you two. A new beginning will be taking place. The masculine will be manifesting a new beginning in this. And for those of you that are in a committed relationship with this person, you guys are living together, you have commitments together, this is about a new chapter starting, and just putting the old energy behind and putting new energy forward. So let's go ahead and see what we have for our hidden from you from our feminine side. Okay, so the feminines are also hiding a big shakeup, big changes. So the feminine has gone through a lot of changes spiritually, on the earth, and currently she's not letting the masculine in on any of this, but she's gone through a lot of transformations, and she's going to be going through a lot more transformations, possibly throughout the next 30 days. But she's hiding most of this from her masculine. She hasn't told him much of this information yet. And it might be because, you know, you guys aren't communicating that well right now. So let's go ahead and look at in the way of the connection. What is in the way of the connection? And thank you, Divine Creator, for channeling guidance to our Aries and Twin Flames for the next 30 days. We have, okay, the Ten of Cups. So what is in the way of the connection? What is in the way of the connection is that emotional connection, the emotional fulfillment, the emotional aspect. So what we get here on the heart of the masculine is he doesn't want to be emotionally open. He doesn't want to be emotionally vulnerable. He's being emotionally protected. He's protecting himself right now emotionally. And so that is what's in the way of the connection. He has to open up emotionally. He has to trust. He has to lean in and trust the love, the connection, and allow that emotion to flow. Allow that intuition to flow. You know, he has the intuition right here. It's right there for him. And he's tapping into it. And over this course of the next 30 days, you know, he is going to be finding it, because he's going to be taking a leap of faith. But he needs to tap into his emotions, because this is in the way of the connection right now. and it's what's holding it back. So let's go ahead and look at our next one. I want to make sure that you guys can see the cards though, because we are getting a lot here. All right, and you guys see this one. All right, so now we're at our next one for the feminine. So this is in the way of the connection. All right, imbalance. So the feminine needs to balance herself better. Currently, she's not fully balanced within. This is also the card of releasing fears and embracing love. So there's still some fear and there's still imbalance that the feminine is working on balancing within herself. This is also our moody card, so she might be having moods, mood swings. She might just be in a bad mood. And this is really just about balancing your moods, balancing your emotions, letting go of fear, embracing love, and trusting the process. So that's what's blocking, that's what's in the way currently of the feminine. Now, we do get this blockage card for the Aries, the perfectionism trap. And perfectionism, remember, as it says, seeking flawlessness leads to self-sabotage. You need to embrace progress over perfection. So that might be one of the reasons why the masculine is having a hard time opening up emotionally, because if he's feeling like things aren't perfect, then he's afraid that he's going to lose out, or that he'll be rejected, or that he's not good enough. And the thing is, you only have progress over time. No one is ever perfect, ever. I think Einstein said, nothing is perfect in the world. There's nothing perfect. And so then we also have the divine feminine, and she might be feeling that as well. Like everything has to be perfect, and that might be throwing her off, throwing her mood off, throwing her into imbalance. And so it's important to remember that we make small steps over time. You know, humans are a big mess, and we learn as we go, and it's the process that's important. The process and the progress. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive into action. So future actions, a future action that oh, beautiful. So our masculine is going to be surrendering. This is my let go and let God. Our divine masculine is going to be surrendering. And I do see it here. Our divine masculine is going to be trusting in the divine plan, in the universe, and having a leap of faith. And then our masculine is going to be letting go and letting God and just surrendering. So this energy will probably clear up, and you'll probably lean into trust. Let's go ahead and see the actions for our divine feminine. Wow, lovers. So the divine feminine is choosing love. Which is exactly what she needed to do, because this is all about letting go of the fear and choosing love. When you're in this state, you are choosing the love, you are in balance. But when you're in this state, you're choosing fear and you're imbalanced. So her action, she's focusing on the love of the connection, and she's choosing love. She's choosing the divine masculine, she's choosing love over fear, she's trusting, and she's leaning into the trust. Beautiful, beautiful. All right, let's go ahead and see what we get for future energy, and then we'll read our numbers in private messages. All right, future energy, divine masculines, the moon. So this is all about diving into those emotions that you don't want to express, diving into those hidden subconscious emotions that are hidden from other people, and a lot of times even from you. So it's about diving into that confusion, all those things that are unclear, all that path that you can't see. And so it looks like the masculine is going to be doing a lot of soul searching and surrendering to the will of the divine in terms of his emotional network and taking a leap of faith. And let's go ahead and see a future action for our feminine. All right, Nine of Cups. All right, so the divine feminine is going to be jumping into wish fulfillment. She has wishes coming toward her, desires, things that she wanted are going to be flooding in. She's going to be feeling very emotionally satisfied, fulfilled. She's going to be taking care of herself emotionally and filling those cups for herself emotionally. And learning how to do that. Because this process has a lot to do with learning to be stronger within yourself. Because when it begins, you're like in a very weak place. and you just can't believe what has just happened. And all the processes that go in and out of union and separation, you guys are checking each other. Are you ready yet? Separation. Together, are you ready yet? Separation. And it really is a process of just spiritual growth, emotional growth, mental growth. So let's go ahead and look at the numbers. Wow, we do have a lot to look at on this side. So our queen is a 4. That's 9. 9 and 5 is 14. And 14 and 18, which is a 9. And 9 and a 5 is 14, which is a 5. Okay, and on her side, we get 17, which is an 8. 11, a 20, a 2. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and mark her side with a 2. And let's double check this. This is going to be 18 or 9. 9 and 5 is 14. And this is a 9. So 5 and 9 is 14 is 5. Yeah, so this is going to be a 5. And so his side is an energetic 5. So a 2 is all about partnerships. And a 2 is all about, so she's thinking about the partnership. She's thinking about the things that, sorry, my kitty cat jumped up on the chair again. How to put him in the room. Okay, so the 2 is all about, the love, the partnership, balance. It's all about her learning to balance. We saw that a lot in her energy here with temperance, choosing love, waiting, learning to be patient and waiting. We also see that in letting go of the hurt. So her energy is a lot about learning how to be balanced and making those important choices in love, in partnership. It's also a really strong number in terms of union. So her energy is really focused on to that union and how to balance herself so that she is going to be prepared for union. And with the masculines, 5 is all about changes. So there are a lot of changes that are happening when you get a 5. They're not bad changes, they're just changes. And people, we generally hate changes, but it is about, having courage, confronting the things you need to confront, the obstacles, confronting the obstacles, new cycles coming in. We did see that with the 10 that he has, the 10 that she has. New cycles are ending and beginning. We do see that with her Tower card as well, that new cycles will be taking place. And we also see that with the Fool card, that a new beginning is starting. So old cycles are being put to the end. New cycles are starting with new energy, better energy. And it's also to do with the material prosperity. So the masculine is focusing on his material world, building up his wealth, gaining experience. And so that's what we get from his side. So let's go ahead and get a message from the Divine Feminine and Divine Masculine. So this is going to be a message for you and your person, between you and your person. I'm not going to take that many. So let's go ahead and get one message. Maybe the Divine Feminine does not have anything to say right now. Okay. For some reason, 2 messages want to come out, so we're just going to take them. I am aware I've caused a lot of chaos and pain in your life. And we belong together no matter what I'm showing you in the 3D. So the Divine Feminine is saying, I'm aware that maybe I have said or done things that have hurt you, but I know that we belong together even if we're not together right now. And from the Divine Masculine, now take energy as it resonates. This could be from the masculine side as well. Take it as it resonates. And let's see what the divine message from the Divine Masculine is. I do love you from the bottom of my heart, and I will never stop. And take this as it resonates. This might be from the feminine, and this might be from the masculine. Again, take it as it resonates. And thank you so much for joining. Remember that we do have a you versus them, your person's feelings and thoughts. We deep dive into that as well as their actions. And this is the thumbnail. I'll go ahead and leave a link for you in comments. So be sure to jump onto that so you can deep dive into your person's feelings and thoughts and learn more about what's going on with them in the next coming weeks, okay? Thank you so much for joining me. I love having you all here. I am on my own twin soul journey myself for 5 years now, pretty much near the end of it, and have been through the thick and thin and good and bad and ugly of it all. So I know what you're going through, and I hear your pain. But everyone will get through this, and that is why I do this, for those out there who are beginning theirs or going through a lot of confusion and need guidance. So yeah, if you have any questions, you can always email me. I also do private messages. So take care. I'll see you later. And remember, like, share, subscribe, and comment so we can grow our channel. We are growing super fast, but we want to be able to reach as many as possible. So thank you, blessings, and see you later.